Okay, if you saw the title of this video, and if you're like me, and you just watched season 8 of Game of Thrones, episode 5, you're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. What the fuck did I just watch? Now, if you're unfamiliar with this channel, I did do a Game of Thrones season 8 preview video with Azim and a good friend of mine, Pat. And we talked about our predictions for this season. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people kind of knew what happened today would happen. And it's just, and I literally just finished watching it 10 minutes ago. And, you see I got my mics here and everything, and I just got done doing an interview for one of the video series that I am doing for this YouTube channel. Check it out. And I was just getting the audio exported and everything, and I just started thinking, and then because I was scrolling through Twitter, and I kept seeing people saying that they were mad about this episode. Now, why are you mad? Okay, I've been seeing a lot of people over the weeks. They've been saying that, how could you build up a character? Spoiler alert right here too. If you haven't watched it, watch the episode, then come back to this video. And also hit subscribe too as well. They were saying, how could you build up a character, like Daenerys Targaryen? How could you build her up? We watched Daenerys Targaryen from season 1 go from someone who was literally, traded, for an army, for the Dothraki army by her brother, and someone who really had no power at all, and then now, she grew to someone who ended up having 3 dragons, someone who freed slaves, someone who was a huge part, against the White Walkers and the Whites. And now, after 5 episodes, they're going to undo it. I guess, and I don't know if it's just women who are mad. I'm not sure if it's like some type of feminist thing or whatever. I'm not really trying to sound ignorant at all, but I'm just not sure what it is. Is it because she's a woman that you're mad that she, all this is being taken from her? Now, my friend Justin had a tweet, and I just saw it, and it made me want to defend what I'm about to say. They have been alluding to her going mad for the last couple of seasons. This isn't some shit that, that was rushed, that they're just thrusting upon us. We have seen her, and her leadership skills have been questioned in the past. When she burned Sam's, father and brother, people were like, well, what the fuck? Are you going to do this to all of your enemies? She was showing a ruthless side of her, where it's, you either do what she says, or you die. There are no prisoners, there's nothing else. It's just her way, or you get burned. And honestly, I know this season does seem like it's going quick. But what the fuck did you expect? What did you expect? Because honestly, if they actually split the seasons too, season 7 and season 8 were supposed to be combined, so actually, it's a lot longer than it should have been. You know what I mean? Like, had you just watched all of season 7 and season 8 together, it came out like an actual normal season, we probably wouldn't have these complaints. And then you got to think too. Daenerys has been worried since the start, since she got over to Westeros. And she wasn't the only one. Missandei was worried. Grey Worm was worried. And they were just worried about being accepted. Because no matter what you do for them, the people, in Westeros, the people in Winterfell, they fought a long battle against the White Walkers and were still looked at as outsiders, especially Daenerys. The only thing that's really helping her case is the fact that she has dragons. Missandei and Grey Worm were already planning to leave after the war. So, I don't understand why people are just like surprised. So you got Daenerys. Sansa doesn't like her from the start. Arya doesn't really like her from the start, but Sansa really did not like her from the start. So I don't understand why it's a big thing. Like, she obviously was feeling some type of way. She's in love with Jon, and then she finds out that Jon actually is her nephew, who actually is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. The Iron Throne that she spent her entire life trying to get to. Now, I don't know if any of you guys out there have goals, but when you want something so bad that you're willing to do anything and everything to get it, the second that you feel, like, let's remember that, forget the Targaryen blood inside of her. Let's remember that she's a human being, okay? She's a human being. So human beings have emotions. So sometimes people drive themselves to the point where it's all or nothing. You've seen those movies where people are like, yo, I'm going to be a basketball star. And then they get into a car accident and they can't use their legs anymore or whatever. Or they get an injury and then they're done. They're down and out. And then they have to find a new way to live their life and give purpose to their life or some shit like that. For Daenerys, that ain't a fucking option, okay? She's not going to start coaching basketball because she broke her leg and can never play again. No. It's either the Iron Throne or nothing. So when she finds out that Jon, the man that she loves, has a better claim to the Iron Throne than she does, and it's a secret, she's like, all right, let's keep it that way. Jon tells Sansa. Sansa tells Tyrion. Tyrion tells Varys. Other people know. Like, people know. I'm pretty sure, like they said, you tell 8 people, that's going to spread to like 100 people, and it's going to keep spreading, keep spreading, keep spreading. Other people know for a fact that Jon is really Aegon Targaryen. Now, she wants to keep that silent. In this episode, she killed Varys for leaking that information. She killed Varys for having that information. And I'm pretty sure she'll kill everyone else for having that information. And let's not forget that she watched her best friend, Missandei, die right in front of her. She watched her dragons die. 2 of them die. The Night King took one, and then Euron Greyjoy just killed one the last episode. So, and then not only did she watch her dragon die, she watched her dragon die and Missandei die right back to back to back. So, there's a lot going on. And then also, you can kind of see that even after she helped save Winterfell and helped save everybody, the people of the North don't really give a fuck about her. And she tried by, doing something nice for Gendry, naming him the Lord of Storm's End. Like, she tried, but that wasn't enough. Because when it was all said and done, she was alone. And then now she really is alone because there's no one else there. She can't really trust Tyrion. Varys is dead. Missandei is dead. She got Grey Worm, but that ain't really much. And Jon doesn't really fuck with her the way that he used to fuck with her before he found out who he was. And I promise you, Jon doesn't want that shit. Jon does not want the throne, but Jon probably is the right person to have the throne. Now, do I have predictions for the next episode? No, I do not. Also, with this whole Daenerys thing too, like, I don't think Like, people don't understand too the Targaryen factor. Like, yeah, it felt like they just thrusted it on us. Like, oh yeah, by the way, she might get mad, she might get crazy. Like she's been doing this since she was over in, was it Essos or whatever, when she was in Marine, when she was over. Like, she's been doing this. All she has really is the dragons. Without the dragons, what is she? Oh wait. At this point, without the dragons, what is she? She has men. But honestly, if everyone else in Westeros wanted to fight her, they could fight her. Like, it's, without the dragons. Without the dragon. But she is a Targaryen. And she's not like Jon, who is half Targaryen and half Stark. The Targaryens have a history of incest. And we've seen this in the show and also in real life. A lot of times when a brother and a sister have a baby together, the baby does not turn out to be, quote unquote, normal like everyone else. There's either deformities, health problems, or in this case, in this show, there's a lot of mental issues. We've seen it with Joffrey. We've seen it with Tommen. Tommen was a little slow. Okay? He was a little slow. We've seen this with the Mad King, who only after, because he was fine after a certain point, but then he started getting paranoid. He wanted to, like I said, with Daenerys, like, when you have something that, and you want to keep it, because the Mad King was worried about Tywin Lannister. He was worried about his own son, Rhaegar, trying to overthrow him. He really didn't trust anybody. Locked himself up, in the Red Keep after he, got kidnapped. He was paranoid. And then not only that, he had Varys whispering in his ear, telling him, to help him watch out for this guy, watch out for this guy, watch out for that guy. So, and I'm not mad at this episode at all. I'm not mad at the episode at all. I'm not mad at the writers at all. I don't care. Like, it's not, I enjoy the show. When I watch the show, when I'm watching it, I enjoy it. If I didn't like the show and I had a problem with the writers, guess what? I would have stopped watching it a few weeks ago. The first 2 episodes were kind of slow. The 3rd episode, amazing. The 4th episode, last week's episode, amazing as well. People slept, because people shitted on that too, because I guess they wanted something major to happen, but it was setting the scene for this. Now, when you watch episode 5 and you see, I checked the time, I was like, damn, 30 minutes have passed and they're about to go into the city and they're about to, start the war. Next thing, the dragon's burning everything. Which, I kind of wanted to see more resistance from the Lannister army and the Golden Company. The Golden Company was literally there for nothing. But I was fine with the way it ended, Daenerys was way, way, way up in the sky and came swooping down, caught him off guard. And she ended up burning everything and they couldn't turn shit around, And then you have Jaime, who was sneaking into the city. And Tyrion said, if they ring the bells, please don't attack the city. And next thing you know, the bells ring. Daenerys sits there for a little bit, doesn't say anything, but you can tell by the look on her face that, like, she's looking at the Red Keep. I'm pretty sure she knows Cersei's in there. She knows, like, it's kind of like where you see people, it's kind of like, I don't know how else to explain this, but you see those stories where people are like, all right, this guy did X, Y, and Z to my family, but I wasn't around. The cops get him, but you're in the courtroom like, no, that's not enough. Life in prison ain't enough. I'm gonna fuck him up. So you're in the courtroom, you go and attack him. That's the type of shit where she was like, nah, this ain't good enough. I want a shot. So she decided to destroy the whole city. And it was kind of sad to see, because then you had the Unsullied and the Northern men and everyone just ransacking the city, getting ready to rape people, killing children, killing innocent people. The Lannister soldiers, like it. For a second, I felt sorry for Cersei. I felt sorry for Cersei because it's like, all right, when there's a war, there's a fight. It's like, all right, you can fight it out, whatever. But when you lose, show some mercy. Sometimes, you won. There's no reason for you to do all that shit. You could have captured the city, you could have captured Cersei, and everything would have been fine. But no. Now it's like, who's going to want to listen to her? Who's going to want to support her? Who's going to really want to love her? And she did say, to Jon, she's either going to love me or fear me. And she's like, oh, I guess it's fear then. And we see Arya running through. The fight with the Hound in the Mountain was pretty cool. Seeing his face, and he really couldn't die from shit. Like, that shit was crazy, but that fire, though, took him out. And then seeing Arya go around and seeing all those people die and the Lannister soldiers, it got to a point where I felt bad. Like, I didn't want the Lannister soldiers to win, start killing people, but it got to the point where I was like, damn, like, this doesn't need to be happening. That's what I was mad at. I wasn't mad at the writers for undoing all of Daenerys' great story arc or none of that shit. Like, I didn't care about that. I was just upset at what I was watching, as a spectator, as a fan of the show. I was just upset because I was like, this doesn't have to happen. Daenerys, why are you doing this? Then I felt bad because Jon was sitting there like, yo. And then it was crazy because, like, the dragons burning shit, and you literally see green smoke go into the air, wildfire. Like, I'm surprised Cersei didn't burn the whole city down, but it got to a point where it's like, you got dragon fire and wildfire. That shit was sad. It was sad. But I don't know what's gonna happen. The good guys look like the bad guys look like the good guys. Cersei and Jaime had a moment at the very end, which I thought was cool for them. It's kind of weird because I never was a fan of it sounds horrible. I wasn't a fan of the relationship at first. I'm like, ill, like brother, sister, having sex, disgusting, nasty. But then when you start watching the show, and I'm just like, oh, they actually really love each other. So I'm like, oh, whatever, like, just do you. Like, it ain't none of my business, like, but because Jaime started growing on me, and I was like, oh my god, they love their kids, like, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I don't even know how long I've been talking for. I don't know none of this shit. This isn't even like an official review, but like, I was just I had to say something about this shit. Like, I had to. I don't care how unprofessional this sounds. I don't care how unprofessional this looks. I don't give a fuck if you really still watching. But this shit gonna be on here. I don't give a fuck. I hope no one on my crew gets mad at me for doing this without them, but like I said, I have no prediction for the next episode. I'm just curious to see how people respond in the show. Like, how Jon approached Daenerys, how Tyrion approached Daenerys. What is Daenerys going to do to Tyrion after, he let Jaime escape? And Tyrion was doing the best for, his family, his brothers and sisters. And honestly, maybe Jaime would have been better off. But, in the grand scheme of things, Cersei should have listened. Cersei should have listened. Like, she had the dragons. You're not going to win. She should have, gave up earlier, but I mean, probably wouldn't have mattered. Oh, God. I'm just over this shit, though. Like, I'm tired of people, like, I don't care if you're mad at, what you watched, but don't try to act like they haven't been building up, Daenerys is going mad and shit for the last, couple years. She's Targaryen. It's in her blood. That's how it goes. She's full-blooded Targaryen. Her father and mother are her aunt and uncle. Her brother and sisters are her cousins. Yeah. The only one who has any children, literally, Viserys, her brother had the same shit. It's, just, Rhaegar. All these theories that I've seen on YouTube too, and they've all been wrong. But Daenerys, really, they won the war, but it's like when people find out what happened, they're not really going to want to support her at all. Like, and then I guess when they find out that Jon's Targaryen, maybe they try to kill them both, honestly. Because they may think that Jon's gonna end up just like her. And I feel bad for Jon because he don't want none of this shit. He literally just wants to like chill. Like he don't want to fight nobody. You know, he fights when he has to. And he's sitting there following orders from the queen that he was fucking. That's his all. Like, yeah, man. But listen, subscribe, like, whatever. Whatever. Just whatever. Like, just I always tell myself I'm gonna rewatch the episodes and shit, but I don't know if I will, just because shit is fucking crazy. Like, it's a lot to take in. A lot. That was a lot. That was sad. I was like, I literally watched people burn to death for like 45 minutes. God damn. Horrible, but I'm out.